Hello everyone and welcome to Shelf Space. I'm your host Ross13 and today we are looking at the HGUC MS06FZ Zaku 2 FZ. This was one of the kits that I got for Christmas, and I believe specifically it came from my son. He wanted me to have something other than a regular Gundam. So I wanted to get this thing built, show it off to all of you, but first, let's take a look at the packaging real quick. So, we got a very cool illustration of the Zaku FZ. We got the name of everything over there, HGUC, blue Bandai logo. So this is a reissue because this is a 2008 kit originally. So yeah, it's a bit of an older kit, but that's okay. On this side, we have a nice little painted picture, write-ups in Japanese that I can't read. More information. On this side, same illustration as before. HG gold bar. This is 087, so it's still somewhat early in the line. Not super early, but thereabouts. Then on this side, more painted photographs of the kit. More write-ups. I can tell you, that weapon does not look like that. The usual warnings and stuff, and they still have taken off the yen price and made me sad because it's not centered. This side, same as the other, but the bluefin sticker. Okay, enough of that. Let's take a look at the actual figure. Here it is. And I think overall, the design of this is very, very cool. It's a slight variation on your regular Zaku setup. The proportions are changed a little bit. More angles are added in some places, more curves in others. The way the chest is made, let's move his arm so you get a better look at that, is completely different. Adding a more central cockpit hatch where the normal one usually is off to the side. And it's a very interesting design, a very interesting take on things. I can't remember what the full story was on why they had a different style of Zaku in this, because this comes from War in the Pocket, if I remember correctly. But it is very cool. Oh, and I guess it should be stated, like usual, I have panel lined this thing. Another neat thing about this is that there is not a whole lot of stickers. You have some stickers for inside the head. I don't think it has any other camera stickers. And there is an option for a little Xeon signal that you can put on the shield. I'm opting not to because I may do some customization on this. I have some color scheme ideas I'd like to try out. So maybe expect something on that sometime in the near future. Let's go ahead and look at articulation. So the head is on your standard sort of HG double ball joint thing, but because of the shape of everything, it is a little restricted. So you can get a somewhat natural range of head movement, but you can't like turn the head all the way around. You can look down a little bit, look up a little bit, though really that's more making it look forward, to be honest. So yeah, because of how they designed this thing, it's not really supposed to have much of a neck, which means your standard range of movement is going to be restricted, even though you have the standard ball socket joint in there. You have a little bit of ab crunch here, some waist rotation, but again, stuff is banging into each other. You have a butterfly joint, but because it's an older kit, it's done in a slightly different way, but it looks pretty good. Then you can move your arms like that, at least on that side. This side, the shoulder armor here is on a ball socket joint, so you're a little restricted. That's okay. This can move all over the place depending on what you want to do. Single jointed elbow. Let's do it with one out the gun, giving you a 90 degrees. I was about to give it a little bit more credit, but yeah, it's 90 degrees. It doesn't look bad, but yeah, This is not a modern kit. Let's see. Skirt armor can flip up like this, allowing for pretty decent high kick. You do have a double jointed knee. It's a little bit restricted. This part is solid, so it just sort of moves around to get back into position, but does a fairly good job of it. And then feet are just on sort of a series of joints, but it's kind of interesting the way they're built. Just hinges and ball socket joints, giving you pretty decent range, actually. Thought something was about to come apart there. And the butt flap does move a little bit, but not really enough for much of anything. So yeah, articulation isn't the best on this, but with what it's got, it uses it pretty well, I think. So you can get some decent poses out of this thing. Just gotta manipulate things a little bit. Well, this popped off, so I guess maybe now's a good time to talk about accessories. He doesn't have a whole bunch, but he has some cool stuff with him. So we got the Heat Hawk, molded all in one color. The package shows that it's actually supposed to be multiple colors, so if you want it to look like that, you'll have to paint. I'll probably do something like that in the near future. And you have a little thing that you can attach to the back of the butt skirt and just clip it in there. And it stays very solidly. You have these little grenade things on the side, but those are all just molded as one piece. He does come with this really neat looking sort of machine gun thing. Different take on things. Doesn't do much, but it just looks pretty cool. I'm trying to remember, does this come out? Yeah, so you can actually take out the ammo clip if you want. So neat little bit of detail there. He's holding it in a dedicated trigger hand. And you have a relaxed hand, which actually makes it perfect for holding it like this. I'm guessing this was probably the pose that this kit was designed for. But you do have some alternate parts, and it gives you all the materials for it. So you do have a regular holding hand for the left hand. It is the left hand, right? Yes. And so you can put the tomahawk in there if you want. You also have a completely different head, and not just like the parts for a different head, like the entire head. And that's very cool. Oftentimes you'll see a kit have the parts for a different head, but you have to use one or the other. This one actually gives you the ability to make both. So if you want, you can pop the head off and pop this one in. This one has a different design. It has the more sort of stormtrooper style helmet. Stormtrooper as in the Nazi stormtroopers. Think of that as you will. But I will admit, it does make for a striking silhouette on this thing. Not sure which one I'm going to display this with just yet. Wow, that is just popping off right and left. Because I keep nudging it off. So, yeah, I mean, it's an older kit. Articulation's a little bit weird. But the way it's built and the color separation on this is actually pretty darn good. I really like this kit, and I think I could give it a good recommendation. I'm going to do some fun stuff with this later on, so look forward to that. I do suppose you need to be aware there are seam lines in bad places. So, like, you got a seam line right in the middle of the shoulder pad. They kind of go down the sides of the legs. It's not as bad as some other kits. And you do have seam lines in the middle of the arms. But yeah, I still think that this is actually a really good kit, and I would recommend it for just about anyone. So yeah, that's been a review. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. Check the description below for links to my storefront for official shelf space t-shirts and more. And yeah, thank you again, and I'll see you the next time you invade my shelf space.